reversed. State versus Coleman. Assistant District Attorney Wyrick conceals an oral statement made by the defendant Williams to police before the trial date, forcing the court to grant a continuance. Then she improperly told the jury about a portion of the co-defendant's statement that had been deleted from what was allowed to the jury. This implicated the defendant and was ordered inadmissible at trial, which resulted in a reversal of the conviction. Roe v. State. Assistant District Attorney Wyrick withheld vital evidence from the defendant that a witness against him had signed a movie contract concerning the case. We note this is extremely improper conduct, though it does not result in overturning the verdict. State versus Bond. Assistant Attorney, District Attorney Wyrick improperly blamed the defendant for the jury's harsh experiences in trial and sequestration, noting that if it had not been for him, they would not have been sequestered. The appellate courts found the remark was grossly improper. The comment should not have been made and stated the prosecutors in the future should refrain from any such line of argument which might divert the jury from its duty to decide the case only on the evidence. State versus Thompson. Then Assistant District Attorney Wyrick's use of various insulting epithets to characterize the defendant was unseemly and improper. State versus Talley. It is evident that the prosecutor's comments were improper in that they were designed to inflame the passions and prejudice of the jury. When then Assistant District Attorney Wyrick, again after previous admonitions, used such terms in characterizing the defendants and a clear disregard for long-standing precedent, matter reversed and remanded. State versus Odom. Then Assistant Attorney General Wyrick introduced detailed, inadmissible evidence of facts underlying the defendant's prior convictions to enhance the effect of aggravating circumstances beyond statutory limits. It was sufficiently egregious as to require reversal and remand for resentencing due to prejudice. State versus Culbreth. A clear conflict of interest and resulting severe misconduct permeated the entire prosecution of the case by Assistant District Attorney Amy Wyrick, rendering the entire proceedings inherently improper and as a whole fundamentally unfair, such that dismissal of the indictments and not remand was the appropriate remedy to redress this severe constitutional error. You ask why she didn't do anything to discipline Tom Henderson for lying and attempting to steal a man's life just to get a conviction when he was let off death row. Why didn't she do anything besides saying getting caught with sufficient punishment? Because she was worse. This should not be countenanced. For 30 years as I practice in this county, I had never seen a situation where the entire district attorney's office for 30 years collectively had that kind of misconduct cited against it. She shouldn't even be practicing law. There's not another DA, assistant DA, or a lawyer with that many allegations of misconduct who's still allowed to practice. She's a liar. You see, that's a character thing. She thinks nothing of deceiving juries, of lying to juries, of engaged in misconduct and unethical things in order to try and get her way. By the way, we do have photographs, evidence, and a whole lot of stuff and witnesses to everything that I have said and thrown on. Now, I'm going to conclude just a hot second. Now, on the other hand, let's look at marijuana, simple possession. Justice Department and the ACLU note an interesting thing. The stiffest sentences in the entire United States of America for simple possession are being given in Shelby County. They note that the use of marijuana is about equal across all race lines, all ethnic lines, all income lines. But almost 85% of the people prosecuted are young African American males. It's about money. Downtown at 201 Poplar, they privatized intake, so the more people you lock up, the more money they make. They've got a new thing, by the way. If you get a traffic violation, instead of getting a ticket, they're going to give you a misdemeanor citation for speeding, failing to signal and lane change, rolling stop at a stop sign. That means you will have a criminal record because there's no longer just a court date. A little above it, there's a date to report for booking, processing, fingerprinting, and photographing. So the private institutions that now control this process have more people that they can make money off of booking. And then, you see, that's a criminal record because it's no longer treated as an infraction, it's a misdemeanor. So what do? If you're grown, you can get it expunged, but how many people have had more than one traffic ticket in their life? And then you get some silly little 18-year-old kid, he gets this, and then when he does get popped for simple possession, he can't get diversion because he's got a prior criminal record. One hell of a way for a practice concerted policy to make sure that those who are young in our lowest generation who are approaching adulthood are screwed so they can't get a job, they can't vote, they can't buy property easily, they can't get things through the federal government. That is deliberate. Because the whole criminal justice system is no longer about controlling crime, it's about controlling surplus labor and controlling the votes in this county. The more felony convictions, the more money made, the more people can't vote, and the more you lock them up so they get taken out of the job market. One thing that makes me so upset is the number of pregnant, or let's say after pregnancy, young mothers, 11, 12, 13, 14 years old. And every time you get a birth certificate, they've got a bloody doggone father listed on that, who's silly enough to come down and say, oh yeah, I'm the one. Why has no one in the district attorney's office since I've been here gone and prosecuted these vile folk for especially aggravated rape? Not once. Why is there no man-up campaign by anyone wants to know? My opponent says she wants to run a man-up campaign. Did you see her little self coming down into the hood? No. That's worse than ludicrous. That's my thing. I did that 25 years ago. Brown's man-up campaign. That's what I do. Promote manhood, also protecting womanhood. Now, she says this, and this is where I'm going to bow out of this. She keeps saying, well, you have the choice between a workhorse and a show horse. Well, obviously, since I'm prettier than she is, I'm the show horse. And since I came up out of the hood, I'm a homeboy, you know. I wasn't supposed to be here. But I am, and all of the young brothers we're trying to get to go apply themselves to their book studying, work hard, you get ahead, you know, nothing comes easy to us. We got to really work at it because we aren't born with a silver spoon in a certain orifice. And she's got the nerve to depreciate it. So I guess I do more work, so she's not the workhorse. What's that make her? A nag? Well, it's time we took control of this situation. We said we're not getting chumped off anymore before. Let's mean it this time. Let's go out and vote. Make sure everybody goes out and vote so they can get their laughs choked right back down their vile throats and saying, no, there are rules. This is a republic. You will act like it. You will quit trying to steal elections. You will take what the rules dictate. And if you can't survive it, then you got no business going around here. Well, that makes you one of the biggest food forward. Let's get out there and do it. And we need this man, this woman, and this man to stop it. And the main thing that none of them has said right now is, you remember when Shep Wilburn found that 8.3, some say $8.9 million, and he blew the whistle, and that filthy rag, the commercial appeal, went off about he's the culprit instead of a whistleblower. And the son, Terry Harris, whose butt I whipped in 1998 in an election for the Division 9 criminal court, by getting every precinct in the county, they tried to make it like Brother Wilburn was the culprit. Well, when they got him out of office, the money didn't get away. It's $22 to $23 million now in a sequestered, non-interest-bearing account that's being used to finance the actions of the Republican Party all over the state of Tennessee, on the backs of our children. And our poor belabored fathers who find that their son is 42 years old, they have grandchildren, and they still find, baby, what's this here? What do you mean? Well, ain't that for some kind of assessment? No. This how they I don't want to, that's for child support. Wait a minute. Boy's 42. He ain't got 4 kids. Well, we just kept them, our daughter-in-law nice. What is this? We need to turn this out. Some people on the other side need to be looking at some penitentiary time. That same Tennessee walk? Yeah. But this is concealed wrongdoing. It's time to stop it. It's time to bring this county into the 21st century. Get the handkerchief heads behind us. Get the people who are iniquitous behind us. Tell them, show them what it's like to be in a position they're trying to put everybody else in. But we'll do better. I think God's with us and on our side. Let's go forth and kick some behind.
Feel like I was in church.